What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hashira Half Hour. It's Brian. I'm going to be your host today, but of course, we want to take a moment and thank our sponsor for today's episode, Tokyo Treat. If you don't know what a Tokyo Treat box is, let me get you the 411 on it. It is a monthly snack subscription box that comes to your door with a taste of Japanese snacks and drinks and treats that you get to try exclusively from Japan. So you can only find these out there or through these snack subscription box. So if you want to go ahead and get a snack subscription box of your own, you can use code Hashira for $5 off your first box. That link is in our bio, and Emily's going to tell you a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so we've been getting the Tokyo Treat Box for a while now. It's always a lot of fun. Every month there's a theme, and this month is no exception. And we already flipped through the book. We're kind of excited about what this is because we got to go visit the area that this box is based on. So this month's theme is Harajuku Snack Venture. Bite into one of Japan's most colorful and fun districts right from your home. So, a couple of things that we have to look forward to and that you can also have to look forward to if you want your own Tokyo Treat box this month. We're going to have some cookies and cream Kit Kats, some salted lemon pretzel sticks, fruity fizz gummies, a mega marshmallow stick, garlic potato chips, and a happy Harajuku choco cake.
I'm excited.
Me too. Harajuku was a highlight, I think, of at least the Tokyo part of the trip. It really is like so fashion forward. You wouldn't believe the amount of people in all these like different crazy fun outfits just like expressing their own personal styles.
And then, of course, as always with Tokyo Treat, it comes with this super helpful cultural guide booklet. As we've kind of talked about, like, I'm learning Japanese. Everyone here is studying up on it, but we can't read the labels. So these cultural guide booklets are really helpful. Not only does it list everything that's in it so that you know what you're biting into, it shows allergen information and just general like food sensitivity. So if you do have allergies or food sensitivities, you can know before you bite into it. And then on top of that, there's just like these fun little tidbits about the culture, about Harajuku this time. You know, usually there's like some anime pictures in here, but we've got information on Shibuya Sky, Yogi Park, Shibuya Scramble, which was like our last hurrah of our trip, so that brings back a lot of memories. So this is just one of the really great things about getting your Japanese snacks through Tokyo Treat is that you can know what you're getting into and you'll also know about the culture.
Favorites?
Kit Kat.
I think it actually was the Kit Kat for me this time too. But pro tip, we put it in the freezer to get it extra cold really quickly, and because of that, it kind of tasted like cookies and cream ice cream.
Cookie and cream yorima natta.
Thank you again to Tokyo Treat for sponsoring today's episode. And if you're interested in getting your own little taste of Harajuku street culture, but in a snack box, make sure to check out the link in our description below and use code Hashira for $5 off that first box. With that, let's jump into today's episode.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Brian, your host today for the Hashira Half Hour recording. We're going to be talking about Dandadan episode 11. I just finished filming a TikTok, very impromptu. I had no idea what I was saying, and I cannot condone and or endorse anything I said in that TikTok. So if you listen to it, mind your own business. It's Brian.
What's up, guys? I'm in my email anime character phase. Again. This is like the third time in the past 5 years.
We'd love to see it. Hi guys, it's Emily. Very excited to go see the Don Don movie today.
Yes.
Maybe Rainforest Cafe, maybe get kidnapped, who knows? Anything's possible.
I guess we're gonna have to explain the backstory then.
The mall that the movie is showing at is not one of the better ones in the country.
No.
But it is one of the only choices, so there's that.
Yeah.
But there is the Rainforest Cafe. I was talking about designing a shirt just for it. I'm like, this would actually probably bang on Twitter if I just did a mock-up of it. But it's like, with like all the little Rainforest Cafe characters, and it's like,
Have you seen this
I got trafficked at the Rainforest Cafe, and all I got was this stupid t-shirt.
Oh.
Anyway.
Well then, so Dandadan.
Well, hey, Dandadan does a lot of things, but at least there's no trafficking children, at least that we know of. So.
Not for a lack of trying. These aliens are trying to beam them up.
Beam me up, Scotty. Alright, anyways, getting on to today's episode. Today's episode opens with Gigi, our new character. He's introduced by Momo doing this weird impression of that Japanese actor. And so, what do we think about this little opening set of introducing Gigi and Momo acting all crazy?
Well, Tom said something really funny earlier about Gigi. I think none of us really knew right when he first came in what exactly to expect. We got about 2 seconds of time with him, maybe like one word. I think all he said was Momo. Momo? Like, I think that was it in the last episode. We're like, oh, what's this character gonna be? Maybe he'll be cool, suave, fascinating. He's kind of an idiot. And we like him anyway. But so Tom was like, he's just like this guy from TikTok, and this might be a niche reference, but there is a man that we are absolutely obsessed with watching, and he runs an account where he's like, this is like a normal Korean guy talking to a girl or a tourist or something like that. They're like, and this is a guy from Hongdae, and he's like, excuse me, can you please put your number in my iPhone Pro 16? And I'm like, that actually is exactly how Gigi was. Like, and in the classroom, he's like, you're cute, and you're cute. Put your number in my phone.
I might die if you don't put your number in my phone.
Do you live alone? Are you open-minded?
Kawaii!
Literally.
It's kawaii.
Kawaii.
That was what got me.
The kawaii.
The kawaii.
Now all I can picture is Patrick doing kawaii woo wee woo wee woo kawaii woo.
It was so funny though, because Okurun's like, oh, this guy looks so cool. He's super handsome, he's tall, I bet he's smart. And then after he says Momo, like, the first thing out of his mouth is kawaii woo.
Kawaii.
And it's like, oh, okay then.
This is
Welcome,
where we're
Gigi. This is where we're going.
Oh, what a fun opening little set. And of course this, as Hannah kind of just brought up, it gives Okurun a little something to worry about, but almost something like to be concerned about how, Gigi kind of poses a threat to his relationship with Momo. And so we're reassured in this little next sequence, because as Okurun's going outside, Momo says, Mate ashita, right? Mate ashita? Yeah, so that's like, see you tomorrow. And like, Okurun just keeps walking, and at first, facing the opposite direction, trying to point at her hand. That doesn't help. But then he's like, hey, it's your turn to say, like, see you tomorrow. And I think that's really cute. Just a sentimental moment is like, I'm reminded of by this moment, is that just something I'm grateful for, the people in my life that remind me that, like, I have my place in their hearts, and like that I have my place in their, like, conversations, if that makes sense, and that, like, I have my turn to say, like, see you tomorrow too. So I feel like that was a really cute moment. But then we learn kind of the reason as the night goes on as to why Gigi is staying with them. And what do we think about this?
I first just want to add, I feel like their little interaction as Okurun left was really important, because he is starting to go down a rabbit hole, because he's obviously, like, starting to really he's starting to catch feelings, right? But he's also a nerd that has never really had much human interaction at all at school. He's always been just bullied and hasn't really had any friends. And now he's like, oh, Momo is my friend, but what else? So he's trying to figure that out, and he's, like, obviously getting very, very nervous about Gigi's presence. So I think her just little, like, reminder, like, she's like, it's your turn to say, see you tomorrow, as a reminder, like, we're going to see each other tomorrow and it's going to be normal, was, like, really helpful to him. And I just really like that, because we all know I ship it. So, like, come on. But yeah, so Gigi, his situation's pretty interesting. His parents are in the hospital. Mm-hmm. Like, okay. And they're like, oh yeah, all of these, like, super veteran spirit mediums have come and tried to exorcise the house, and all of them are dead now. It's like, this is a serious problem. They're like, okay, we'll go with Seiko. Yeah. And then she's just like, no, Momo's going. You're sending a child.
And I think we were discussing that this show takes place, like, in the mid 2010s, give or take. Like, there's definitely some contemporary references, but then there's some stuff that's a little bit more of its time. And Seiko obviously looks fantastic for her age, but she is of a different age group.
She's definitely a boomer.
She's like chain smoking. She's like, yeah, good luck. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Like, and that's the parenting style.
That's crazy.
Oh, good luck, Momo. Don't die. Sounds like an anime. Sounds like a shonen anime.
And honestly, skipping ahead a little bit, just because while we're talking about it, what did you guys think of like the design of the curse or demon that Gigi sees at night?
Oh yeah.
Like, just while we're talking about it, like, what did you guys think of it? Like, what reminded you? I think it kind of reminded me of the aliens in the beginning at first, with like the way that the eyes were, but it almost looked like someone was like wearing like a suit all the way up their head a little bit, so I
Yeah.
couldn't tell too much.
It was definitely. I feel like it sounds so stupid to say dreamlike, but there is something about the way that nightmares go, at least for me, that is like fluid, but also like slow and fuzzy. And I think they captured that really well.
I like that.
Yeah, we see it very briefly, but it's definitely the stuff that, as a kid, would give me nightmares. Just like a very brief shot of very scary looking eyes and that sort of thing. And it made me wonder, I'm like, okay, is this going to be an alien, or is it going to be a ghost, or are those worlds starting to combine? Like, I feel like that might be where we're kind of headed almost, is like they're kind of, well, I mean, the ghosts are supposed to be protecting humans from the aliens, I think is what the last episode kind of talked about. So I don't know, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like, what is it? That's more where I went. But definitely, if I had seen this like 10 years ago, nightmare film.
Yeah. So with that, I definitely agree with you guys. Like, it's definitely a creepy image to kind of have envisioned, and especially for Gigi to have to sleep through the night. So kind of going back into as the episode progresses, right? We see them at school the next day, and things are supposed to be kind of going back to normal. We see Okarun going through his day. He's in English class, getting taught, ironically, the adjectives that could be used to describe his current situation, such as jealousy, such as beauty, things like that. And so I just found that really funny. But what did you guys think of like him like going through his own little like mind trap of like all these self-deprecating thoughts and stuff like that?
Oh, he's fallen down a black hole. And it's kind of like I talked about earlier. He's young, and he's just figuring out like human interaction, because the poor boy, I don't think, has had many. We still don't know where are his parents. Does he live with his parents? Does he live with someone else? Like, I'm assuming that's gonna be like maybe a big reveal later on, or they're just keeping it a secret just because they can, because his family's not relevant to the plot. I don't know, but I feel like there's something going on there. But he's spiraling. He's spiraling, and it is like, it's pretty sad when you think about it. He really just wants to be friends with Momo, and like we as an audience can tell that he is catching more feelings than just platonic, obviously, but he probably doesn't know that yet. He's young, he's figuring out life. He also is a shonen main character, which means he's got a whole lot of other stuff going on, like his powers and dealing with ghosts and going to this house, right? So it was like, oh, like, it's okay, buddy, because he's like, if Momo and Gigi start dating, is she even gonna talk to me anymore? Like, oh, like, he's not worried about just romantic competition. He's literally worried that Momo's just never gonna talk to him again. So it's like, no, bud, like, she's going to. Remember, she stayed kind of the same last night when you left. So hopefully he is reminded of that throughout the rest of the show.
Yeah. I didn't think about those two things together, really, until you just said that. But I'm like, he has, like, nobody maybe at home, or at least not regularly.
Yeah, I don't
That's all,
know.
like literally nobody giving him any attention until Momo did. And now that's, like, potentially, like, there's this, like, threat that has come in to remove any attention that he's getting at all from anybody.
Yeah.
And
That's
that is
scary.
heartbreaking because this is a kid. He's just a baby.
Like, what was our brains like when we were in high school? Like,
Messed up.
messed up.
Let me
I
tell you
still
what.
overthink things
Yep.
all the time. Like, I am a big overthinker. And
Well, and at
You-
that age, you have like raging hormones,
Yeah.
and not even in like a sexual way, but like there's so much change that is happening to your body and to your brain at the same time that it's like adding in this other stuff is like it verges on too much.
yeah.
And you don't have like healthy coping mechanisms for it. Like he's not really great at maybe communicating that yet because he doesn't have any practice doing that, and he's just a teenager and like hasn't had a lot of application in the real world. That's almost scarier than the yokai
For
that he has to
real.
deal with.
Yeah.
I did like in the flashback they showed how his haircut changed too. You guys
Yeah.
noticed?
I'm so glad he doesn't have that bowl cut anymore.
I know.
Momo was probably like, "Let me take you to a barber shop," and then she was like, "See, don't you look so much better?" And he
Didn't
was like,
Didn't his hair burn in like the second episode when he tried to enter their house and it just stayed that way forever?
I think you're right.
"Oh, there we go."
He got a perm for real.
All right, mystery solved. So, going through, it's lunchtime, and Okarun decides to go ahead and do his lunchtime workouts. With that being said, though, it wouldn't be a lunchtime workout without a Momo surprise. And so Momo shows up, and of course, Okarun's natural reaction is to jump into a bush.
I understand. But I mean, maybe he's starting to get like those first. Maybe he's starting to realize that there is a little bit more going on, and it's making him nervous around her, even though he might not have been before. I do think that's relatable, even if I might not have jumped straight into a bush myself. I'm sure that I gave like many death glares when I actually was probably into the person instead. And who knows, like what other awkward teenage reactions might exist. And I really like that this show balances that with all the other crazy shit that happens.
They are just high school kids going through life while they battle demons. No, him jumping into that bush, the way they animated it was just so hilarious. Because, like, of course he would, like, see Momo and just go, ah! I think part of it, too, was he didn't want her to see that he was training. Because he's, like, doing that for her. Like, that. I feel like the reason he's doing it right now, I'm kind of misremembering, but he was going down that rabbit hole of, like, oh, she's never going to talk to me again. He's like, I'm going to go train. Let me have my shonen boy training art while he's doing bicep curls. And then she's like, hi, Okarun. And then he's in the bush. Can't relate, though. Pretty sure when I was that age, I was the exact opposite of that with my crushes. I was doing everything I could to get their attention and being, like, super loud and obnoxious. Like, if someone said something funny, like, to make sure my crush knew that I existed in the world. So yeah, I'm shy about things, but I wasn't in front of my crush. I was also homeschooled, so I was not interacting with people very much either, except for my family. So
That's fair.
I didn't know how to act.
Real talk, I still don't know how to act. I was in jury duty the other day, and I had to channel the two of them and focus on being a regular adult and not saying under the oath, the One Piece is real, or, hey, what's your name?
I like how he thinks he needs to channel us for his
I was like, what would Emily and Hannah do? I literally asked myself that. I'm like, they would sit here, very nice, very poised, and just stay quiet. Like, don't do anything else.
I don't know. Hannah would absolutely be like, don't say Hino Kamikagura. Don't say Hino Kamikagura.
The difference is I don't really want to be at jury duty, so I
No.
probably would be like, who's the man behind you? They're like, what man? That one.
Boing.
Sometimes I hear things in my head. I would be like,
They'd
I
be
would
like,
be
yeah,
trying
this
to-
one's no good.
and by the way, I'm a pacifist. They're like, get out.
Okay. Anyways, moving on. Training is going, and Momo kind of reassures him again in the sense that it's kind of this back and forth dynamic that I guess Okunun's experiencing of being both reassured by his relationship with Momo in like the sense that he is being offered to be fed by her. He's like, well, if you're working out and you're not going to eat lunch, like let me feed you. But then all of a sudden, Gigi shows up and he's like, hey Momo, I got your yogurt Pompi. I know it's your favorite. And she's going berserk for it. So there's really this dichotomy of like competition for him, and I think that's really what's tearing him apart. But we can't ponder too long on our feelings, as with any anime, right? Because the show must go on. That's showbiz, baby. So with that being said, all of a sudden, Ogun's freaking out because there's an like Anatomy and Fizz doll running at him at like sprinter speed.
To be fair, I would also be freaking out if the Anatomy doll was running at me. May I also just preface, though, that I was... This is so deeply embarrassing, but the thing I was most known for at my high school was fainting.
Oh.
And it was always in any of these classes with, like, horror movie gore is, like, not something I go out of my way to see, but, like, when it's so over the top, it's like whatever. But when it's like something that has like an actual real life application, like I am not good at getting blood drawn or even thinking about anybody else doing that. I will faint. So the Anatomy stuff and like this shit, if that was coming running at me, that would actually be my 13th reason, I think. I would be freaking out. I would like get really cold really fast, and then you would find me on the ground later. The nurse knew me. On a first name basis with the wheelchair to come pick me up.
Aww.
Oh.
No.
So, anyway, I understand.
I, like, could not take this seriously. This was so far out of left field. Like, Dandadan is so over the top already with a lot of theming, but at the same time, I felt like up until now, I kind of understood the world that they were in. It was like, okay, so they have aliens, they have ghosts, those two have special powers that can also, you know, give humans special powers. Okay, this makes sense. Why is there a running, talking mannequin now? Like, where did we get this?
It's always something.
It's just like, it's crazy. But yeah, I don't know if I would faint, but I would definitely run very far away as fast as I can, which I would not be as fast as that guy because he's clearly running extremely fast.
Yeah.
He's zooming.
He got the zoomies, as we like to say to our animals.
I always think of the store that went out of business.
What store?
Zoomies.
Oh, I don't
Oh.
remember zoomies.
It's not spelled like that.
Oh.
It's like the skate shop.
Oh,
Did they go out
okay.
of business?
No, I think there's one literally like in the mall next to me.
Oh.
I think they sell Hypeland. The like anime shirts and stuff.
Yeah.
If they still exist. Anyway.
Back to the
Sidebar.
story. So with that being said, we start to kind of see a chase ensue. A chase not helped by Gigi, by the way. He's trying to protect Momo, but is really just like dragging her down. So bonus points for Momo for hanging on tight with that in tow. And then I found it really cute that Okunun was like taking his socks and shoes off and put them away like neatly in the corner.
I missed that the first time I watched it. I didn't notice that he was just like throwing off his shoes and socks to like power up. I missed that they briefly showed that he had put them nicely in the corner. I was like, good boy.
So sweet. And then we get the William and Tell overture mixed with the Can coming in, which was honestly crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That was so funny. But this chase scene is awesome. What did you guys think of this?
Anytime they bring in the classical music, I like absolutely love whatever is coming next because you know it's gonna be crazy. And anime doesn't do it very often that they bring in like Western classical music anyway. So it was exactly what I wanted it to be. It's like almost slapstick. Momo is like saying some stuff that's out of left field. She's like, "Let me see your golden ball, dude." And Gigi is like, He's like, what happened to my Momo? What are all these dirty jokes?
So
He's not in on the dirty joke yet.
Oh god.
I just liked how the entire time Gigi is just hella confused.
Yeah.
He's literally just being dragged because he was trying to protect Momo, and Momo's like way stronger than him, right? And he has no idea what is going on. He probably has no idea what Okurun and Momo have gone through in the past, like, I don't know, week since the first episode, right? And he's being dragged along, and then like Okurun shows up and he's like, there's another monster, and Momo's like, no, that's Okurun, and he's just like confused. And then the music is playing and they're chasing and they're like, we need to see your balls. It's so chaotic. And I feel like that's what Dandadan is really making a name for, because first of all, it's still the chaos of it just being a walking, talking mannequin with the anatomy like stuff going on. And then you add to it that this is like a chase scene, but the music is kind of silly and the exposition that's happening is silly. It's so chaotic, and I think that's what has drawn me to the show the most, is just these like super just silly, like it's serious, like this one's not as serious as when they're fighting a ghost or an alien, but it still is like they think that this guy might have one of his missing balls, which they already have one, so if they found this one, then he'd be good to go. We'll see, that's the next episode, but I loved it. It's just fun. It's just silly fun.
Yeah. And so as we go through the chase scene, he eventually like gets hit by a car.
Yeah.
And then still keeps running because he goes meld, and then he's like literally back on his feet, except until we learn at the end of the chase when the music cuts and that Momo's been punching the heart to hear him scream in agony so that way they could find him.
So when I rewatched this show the second time, Jordan's first time, we were dying. We had to pause it and rewind it a couple times because she's just like, ah! It was so, for some reason, that was the scene that had us like crying, laughing. We just like looped it over and over again. Ah!
There's a will, there's a way.
And she's so proud of it too. She's all like, with her little tongue out, she's like,
I thought of something.
Okun's like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, no, I stole his heart.
She really said, Shinzo Sasage yo!
Kokoro moyasai.
He said, I don't wanna.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my god. And so once they finally get to the end scene, end destination of the chase, they hear something interesting because all of a sudden they hear Taro, Taro. And then he gets his own romance moment where he becomes the Fabio of the situation, and at the top of a dumpster pile is holding his, I guess, girlfriend, who is another anatomy doll, who is only a half-standing doll, and they've been lovers together, and she's like, why did you come back for me? He's like, I loved you. Marry me. What?
It just makes this episode, it's like the cherry on top of this incredibly chaotic, out of left field episode. I feel like from the start with Gigi's introduction, we've just been discussing serious topics within this episode. Like, there was a lot of plot in this episode, but at the same time, the level of just chaotic energy of this episode was so high that you can't take any of the serious topics seriously at all, because it's just like, there is a mannequin who is running up a hill of trash and declaring his love for another mannequin, and she's like, it won't work, our manufacturing dates are too far apart. It's like, what?
He likes them older ladies.
He's like, we have to run away together. I'm like, I still don't understand how these dolls are talking and have lives, and now they're in love. And the music, da 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 da. What is going on?
But I'm kind of into it,
I'm
though.
kind of into it too.
And so are, like, the three of them. They're like, it's beautiful. They're like literally at the dump.
What a beautiful love story.
That's so funny. Oh my god, this episode just like continues to get weirder. So, Okurun is inspired by this moment, and what do you guys think this means to him, or what do you think this means in the eyes of like a 16-year-old seeing like this declaration of love?
It's certainly an example of romantic love. It's definitely a confession.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a good confession? I mean, does he get the girl though? She's half the woman she used to be.
Not the half jokes. I can't do this anymore. There's too many half jokes and too many fandoms I'm in.
It'll be really funny if he does something that's like exactly like this, because it would not feel correct coming from his character.
No.
But he might do something like that because it's the only example that he's seen.
Like, you wouldn't put it past him to do something like that because he's just... he's learning about the world right now because he hasn't had much access to it. I think that's why he's so into... Well, yeah, he said that. Like, the reason that he's so into UFO and the occult is because, like, no humans ever wanted to talk to him, so we thought he could be friends with the aliens, right? But, yeah, a part of me is like, go, Okurum, just do it. I think what this better serves purpose for is I think he's finally realizing kind of what his feelings actually are. I would not want him to declare his love to Momo in the way that this guy is, because I don't think it would go over very well with her. I think she would just be like, what? No. And I think that might actually make their relationship awkward.
Yeah, I agree.
I think what this means to a 16-year-old, honestly, y'all talked about how y'all had, like, your... I'm gonna let y'all finish, but you guys talked about how you guys, like talked about your crushes and stuff. All my crushes were boys, but they weren't supposed to be. So, well, by standards, they weren't supposed to be. So it was awkward, and I didn't know how to act around anyone. So had I seen this man confess his love, I would have probably done the same thing and been like, marry me! So, anyways, that's how I feel about that. But as we go into the end of our show today, what do you guys think are some of your favorite moments from today's episode?
I mean, the mannequin coming out of literally left field. Even though I get queasy with some stuff, watching it in the audience as an animated thing was hilarious. And it's like you literally never know where the show is going. You never know. You cannot even try to predict it. So I think for me, that's probably got to be it.
I have to give it to the... Ah! I don't know why that got us so good with just making us laugh, but the comedic timing and just how, like, proud of herself she was that she came up with the idea, and how kind of, like, evil it was. Like, she had his heart. Like... And then she's, like, doing it multiple times, trying to make him do it again. Yeah, that was hilarious and definitely my favorite moment.
I think I'm going to take probably, like, the one serious moment from the episode and say my favorite moment was when we were in Gigi's room and the cinematography of that moment, because you take a look and originally you're seeing Gigi, but the camera, like, rotates up and around, and then you see and like pan into the monster. Yeah. And I think that was a really cool way to like show the monster, and also just the lighting effects of that like entire section of the episode with all the purples and the blacks. Like they were all really like well saturated colors, and I thought it was just a very beautiful display of horror.
It's a very brief moment, but it was very well done. Yeah.
Well, with that, that's our show. Hopefully you are getting a chance to see the Dawn of the Dawn movie at some point in your local theater. Remember, go to movie theaters, help support producers, tell your friends, tell your kids. I don't know. Bring a pet.
Maybe.
Bring a service animal.
And don't forget, if you're interested in getting your own Tokyo Treat box, thank you again to the sponsor of today's video. You want to bring some of those Harajuku snacks to the movie theater to go watch the Don Don movie, you can check out the link in our description below for $5 off of your first box.
Code Hashira.
Yay.
Yeet!
Yay.
Skirt!
Yeet, skirt! Yeet, skirt! Rory, don't stop! Pop that! Drop that!
Skirt that!
Also, don't forget, if you want to know more chaos, follow us on social media. We are at Hashira Half Hour on Instagram and TikTok. And TikTok's starting to get a little wild over there. And at Hashira Half on Twitter, or on X, formerly Twitter. Blah, 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 whatever that thing is anymore. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah.
That note, we'll see you next time, folks.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun dun dun!
And the episode is done.